We spend all this time and money on a university degree, but is it actually enough to land you a great job right after you graduate? It's a huge question, and today we're diving into this growing disconnect, this gap between what's taught in the classroom and what employers really need in the real world. So let's get right into it. The big issue here is something people call the skills gap. And it's a massive challenge for modern economies, especially for countries with really ambitious goals, like Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. They're trying to build this whole new economy based on technology and highly skilled workers. So the question is, are graduates actually walking out of university with the right tools for the job?
So what are we really talking about here? Well, in a nutshell, it's that a lot of graduates have the right qualifications on paper, but they don't quite match what industries are actually looking for. They've got the degree, for sure, but maybe not the specific, practical skills to just hit the ground running on day one.
To really get to the bottom of this, a group of researchers in Saudi Arabia did this fascinating study. They went straight to the source, 140 business students who were literally about to graduate and enter the workforce. They wanted to know, how prepared do you really feel?
And this is where it gets really interesting. What they found was this totally surprising paradox. It shows this deep conflict between how confident students feel about their general abilities versus how ready they think they are for an actual career.
Okay, so look at this data. Students feel super confident about their everyday tech skills. On a 5-point scale, they're rating themselves almost a perfect 5 for things like using tech to communicate or picking up new tools. They feel like digital natives, Comfortable, adaptable, they've got this.
But, this is a big but, here's where that paradox just slams into view. The second you change the question from general tech skills to skills for a job, the whole picture just flips upside down. So get this number is just staggering. Over 60%, so a huge majority, of these same super confident students, they strongly disagree that their current skills will actually help them get a better job. Think about that for a second. They're great with technology in general, but they have this gut feeling that it's not the right technology that's going to land them a career.
And this right here just sums up the whole problem perfectly. On the one hand, you've got this confidence. Yeah, I'm great with tech. But on the other hand, there's this stark reality. But what I know isn't what employers are looking for. The students themselves are basically screaming that there's a major gap.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, the great thing about this research is that it didn't just point out the issue. It actually proposed a really clear, practical way for universities to step up and close this gap.
Now, the proposed solution is called the Graduate and Professional Skills Development Program. I know, that's a bit of a mouthful. But the idea behind it is actually super simple and really smart. Just give students focused, hands-on training with the exact specialized software that companies are using every single day.
So what kind of software are we even talking about here? Well, it's the stuff that's often missing from a typical university course. We're talking about the real workhorses of modern business. Things like ERP systems that manage a company's entire operation, or CRMs that track every customer interaction, or even business intelligence tools that help leaders make huge decisions. These are the big ones. And I didn't just have the idea. They laid out a really clear 3-step plan to make it happen. Phase 1 is development. Get the right people in a room, secure the funding, and design the program. Phase 2 is implementation. Actually build the computer labs and get the online platform running. And Phase 3, which is crucial, is evaluation. Constantly check in to see if it's actually working and helping students get jobs. And look, this isn't just about learning a few new programs. This is about something much bigger. It's about finally bridging that huge gap between academic theory, the stuff you learn in books, and real-world professional practice. Let's look at how big the impact could be.
So what do the students think? Is this the answer? Well, the data here is just overwhelming. A massive 90.7% of them either agree or strongly agree that the skills they'd get from a lab like this are directly useful for their future careers. I mean, they're practically begging for this kind of training.
The researchers really nailed it in their conclusion. Their study made it crystal clear that, and I'm quoting here, expertise in specialized software packages enhances career prospects significantly. It's not just a nice little bonus, it's a total game changer for graduates.
So, okay, why does all this matter beyond just this one university? Because a solution like this has a huge ripple effect. For one, it directly supports big national economic plans like Saudi Vision 2030. It also lines up with global goals from the UN for things like quality education and decent work. And maybe most importantly, it gives a practical blueprint to any school anywhere in the world that's trying to solve its own skills gap.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought for all of us. Just think back to your own education for a second. What's the one practical, hands-on skill you really wish you had been taught? The one thing that would have made a real difference in your career? It's a pretty powerful question when you think about what it really means to be prepared for the world of work.